I work at the Department of Education. I'm a dietitian, and I did grow up on a farm. And when I told my dad that I was going to become a dietitian, I remember the day I called him from college. I went to an agriculture college, leaving a farm, and I called him to tell him I was going to become a dietitian. And my dad raises cows. And my dad thought that a dietitian meant that I was going to be a vegetarian, and we had huge problems in our family all of a sudden because my parents raised beef. And so a long time ago, I promised my dad that as a dietitian, I will always support agriculture in anything that I do. And I really do that. Every time I teach nutrition, I talk about local foods. I talk about where your food comes from. And I really live and breathe agriculture as much as I can because it was my livelihood and it's really my personal priority. And Leah Clark in the back is the same way. She knows agriculture very well. She works in the second part of our partnership at the Department of Agriculture in a program called Idaho Preferred. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that program. But Leah, I always introduce her. We work together all the time. If you're in Idaho, people in Idaho see us together. We present together. We're both very high energy people that are very into agriculture and food, and so we really are a good partnership. But she knows a ton about the food grown in Idaho. I always refer to her as the food expert in Idaho, and I don't think she likes that. But this gal knows everything about how the food's grown, what food we have, how much. She just knows a lot about Idaho food and agriculture. So she's been a great resource for me. And she also knows a lot about nutrition. When I first met her, I don't know if I've ever told her, I thought she was a dietitian too. But she just knows a lot of information about food and nutrition. And then our third piece of our partnership is a program called Ag in the Classroom. And I know many of your states have Ag in the Classroom. And the reason this is such an important part of our partnership is they might not be involved in the day-to-day things that we do in Farm to School, but they give us excellent access to teachers. For the last 3 years, Leah and I have spoke to hundreds of teachers about Idaho foods, about nutrition, and about the different projects that we're doing. And Ag in the Classroom gives us that in. It's surprising, working at the Department of Education, you would think I would have easy access to teachers, and that's just not how it is. Their focus is on some other things, and nutrition is not the easiest way to get into the classroom. So Ag in the Classroom really gives us an in to gives us access to teachers who are interested in agricultural topics for their classroom. So together we have access to the schools and the food service programs, to teachers, and to the producers and growers. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the program I run. It's the Child Nutrition Programs, which is a USDA-funded program, and we are housed in the Department of Education. And I work off of what is called Team Nutrition Grants. So Farm to School is about this big of my role. So not only do we not just have two people, but Lee and I both have full-time jobs that are primarily not focused on Farm to School. So we really have a struggle in our state finding the time to implement some of the projects that we do in our state, and we really have to be committed to it to find the time to do Farm to School. What I do is I write grants. I'm in charge of school wellness for the state. I'm in charge of Farm to School for the state. I'm in charge of nutrition education to teachers, to students, and to food service. I'm in the middle of rewriting our nutrient standards for our entire state, which has been a huge task I'm learning. And just a lot of other activities that involve nutrition or nutrition education. Kind of every little extra project seems to be on my desk in our office. But my primary responsibility is to work off of grants. And anything I do with Farm to School does come from the grants I write. The Team Nutrition Grants does fund all of the Farm to School work that I do. And then the Idaho Preferred program, where Leah works, it's a marketing program through the Department of Agriculture, and their mission is to promote the quality, diversity, and availability of Idaho food and agriculture products. They are managed by the Department of Agriculture and then also by a board, and their funding comes from the state and then through specialty crop grants and then fees from their members. And that is what pays for Leah's work in Farm to School. And the third is Ag in the Classroom. I think most of you know about Ag in the Classroom, but basically in our state they do workshops every summer and agricultural tours and give teachers the resources to incorporate agricultural topics into their schools. And luckily the director of Ag in the Classroom has an interest in nutrition, and Leah and I are both on the Ag in the Classroom board, and we've been lucky enough to present the last 3 years at all of their teacher workshops in the summer. So we're a pretty small group, but we have very, very large goals. Like I said, this is a huge passion of mine and by far my favorite part of my job. And my boss is frequently telling me there's other things I need to be focused on. But I absolutely love Farm to School, and I believe in it, and I believe it should be my priority in our state. So We're working hard, but we don't have the support or the funding or the people sometimes. But I'm just going to quickly go over some of the accomplishments we have had, and then I'm actually speaking tomorrow, and I'll speak about the specific projects that we've implemented with school food service and education. So we do Healthy Harvest Event, which is a food service celebration where we get our school food service departments to celebrate the harvest in September, which is our main time when we have fruits and vegetables available. And we try to get them to do school-wide events and serve local foods during that month and just really push local foods and agriculture and nutrition during that month of September. So right now we have a little bit over 70 schools that have participated in that. We started that program about 3 years ago, and that includes 40 different counties in our state. And then we started a program last year called Incredible Edible Idaho, and this is a poster program, and I'll show you the posters tomorrow, where every month we send schools a different poster that features a different Idaho commodity, and it shows where that food's grown, it shows that food growing in the crop, plus what the food looks like on the plate. It's very visual. Then there's nutrition facts and agriculture facts included in that, and the back of the poster has 4 different activity sheets that teachers can copy off, reproduce, and use in their classroom. So we now teach classes called Incredible Edible Idaho, and we offer these posters to teachers and to kitchen food service directors and managers. And in order to get a poster, they have to come to one of our classes, so that helps. And one reason we started those posters is Healthy Harvest in September just wasn't enough. We wanted to expand it throughout the entire year, and we needed an easy way to do it where we didn't have to be at the school constantly encouraging. And we found out the best way is if a teacher might not have time to teach, they can at least put up a poster and the students still might read it. Or hopefully teachers are also teaching off of that poster. But that was just our easy way to try to spread it throughout the whole school year when we talk about Idaho foods. Through Ag in the Classroom and other different groups, we've talked to any teachers that want to hear from us. We just recently talked to the Family Consumer Science Department at a conference they had, but over the last 3 years, we've reached over 700 teachers. And then I will talk later, we developed our own Idaho pyramid that just has foods from Idaho on it. It looks like the USDA's pyramid, but it's called My Idaho Pyramid. And we have those on this nice shiny paper, and we have them in tear pads of 30 sheets that teachers can order from us, and we've given out over 45,000 of those. And a fun story, I had a family member in the hospital a while back, and a dietitian was giving them advice, and they were using the Idaho Pyramid. I don't know where they got it at, but I think it's excellent. I go and see that pyramid everywhere. It's been by far one of the most successful things we do. We have it on magnets, we have it on those sheets, we have it on our website, and we put it on everything we do, and that's been a really fun project because we're really seeing that grow in popularity. So you don't get my other Idaho pictures, but here's one picture of a lake up in Coeur d'Alene, and I will be speaking to you guys more about the details of our program tomorrow. I didn't go into the barriers. I have the same barriers that these guys have already discussed as far as getting the farmers and getting the food to the schools, and funding issues, of course, are always an issue in child nutrition programs. But you'll be hearing more about our program tomorrow.